got some big sort of directional changes for the company. Sometimes I say it's been around 20 years, but if you actually think about it, this is the 24th year of Graveface, which couldn't make me feel older, honestly. It's kind of grotesque. At any rate, uh, so I get really not bored, but if you've paid attention to my career at all, you'll see that I do a ton of shit between museums, retail shops, the TerraVision label that I run, which is all like horror stuff. Like I just need to constantly be doing something that isn't just, putting out indie bands or whatever. So, enter 2024, the big announcement, the big change for Graveface. And effectively, I'm turning, or I have turned, Graveface into a home video label. So, as I just mentioned, TerraVision I started in late 2014, early 2015. So this is going on the 10th year of TerraVision, and that was like from day one: VHS, vinyl, cassettes, just a handful of CDs, and then like I don't know, several years ago, started doing Blu-rays, maybe 3 years ago. And that has proven to be, I don't know, just more in line with where I am at this point in my life. I'm a filmmaker at heart, more so than, funnily enough, even a musician. And sort of the constant focus to make records has made it so that film doesn't really exist for me. So it's been really nice on TerraVision, constantly focusing on just film in general. So it's not like Graveface is going away or sort of changing that dramatically, but how I see it changing is, well, for starters, I signed a deal with Paramount. It's kind of a twofold deal. There's a TerraVision component, which will be responsible for what they call Paramount Scares. It's like their, obviously their horror sub brand or sub label. And TerraVision's got a bunch of that stuff coming. Very exciting. And then the other side of that is with Graveface. So I licensed. I don't think this is a popular opinion, but my personal favorite Pee Wee Herman adjacent project was called Big Top Pee Wee. I was obviously obsessed with circuses and sideshows, and if you've been to any of my museums, you'll see I have by far the world's largest collection of that stuff, and I probably have, 0.025% of what I own exhibited. I own tons and tons and tons and tons of circus sideshow history. So when I was a kid, Big Top Pee Wee obviously appealed to me, even though I think critically it was blasted. So I've got that coming out on Graveface, which is a huge, I can't express how large of a deal that is to me personally. So that will be 4K UHD and Blu-rays. Never even had Blu-ray, I guess because people don't like it, but fuck them. I love it. So we've got that coming out. Again, this is to launch Graveface in its new 2024 direction. I'll still have records coming out, of course. But even some of the records I want to pivot to not necessarily film scores, but interesting stuff, just different stuff, and not across the board. There'll still be some Dreamin' records and Marshmallow Ghosts, and Casket Girls is even threatening to come back and do one final record. um, working with this amazing band called Fever Haze. Um, that gets announced shortly. Valley Gals has a new record. Kid Dakota has a new record. I mean, there's a bunch of like normal Graveface releases if that's what you've been into for 20 years. That's not going away. But I'm not gonna lie, my focus and my excitement to launch Graveface as a home video imprint is pretty big. Like, this is a huge thing for me. And I feel that it will set me back on track to start making movies, because I've got a pile of scripts that I've written, some of which are, I think, at least halfway decent. Or maybe they suck, I don't know. But I still want to make them, just like Dream End. That music could be rubbish to 99% of people, and I still want to make it. I still want to make those records. So, you know, I've been working, if you pay attention to the Graveface Museum, that is my sort of oddities imprint. And I've been working on a John Wayne Gacy documentary for, I keep saying 8, 9, 10 years, but I actually think now that it's fucking 2024, it's been going on way longer than that, which is depressing. 2 weeks ago, we wrapped the pilot episode. Last week, I was in Texas filming for one of the other episodes. I'd say we have, so the pilot's done. That's what I'm going to use to like shop it. And then I think we've got 2 or 3 other episodes for season 1 done. There's like 30 episodes, so it's multiple seasons. But I need to sell it in order to monetize it, meaning if I don't monetize it, I can't make episodes because I've already spent kind of an enormous amount of money on it, and I'm kind of tapped. So the only path forward I see is to sell it to a network, hopefully recoup what I've spent, and hopefully there's more so that I can spend that making future episodes. I intentionally haven't done the like Kickstarter, GoFundMe route for this, even though I've been tempted to. But I don't know, something about that feels fucked up. I don't know why. I've done it before. I don't know. My brain is a mystery. So, getting back to the Graveface home video imprint. Chloe, my wife, made a very cool logo. It's not going to be insane like Terrorvision. Terrorvision, we do like 3 to 5 titles a month or something. The intention is not that. So Graveface will be sort of the home for all my indie thrillers, oddball stuff, documentaries, music-related stuff, culty stuff. Got a bunch of dramas coming. So basically anything that isn't horror. So Terrorvision will be the house of horror, and Graveface will be the catch-all for everything else. So like I said, we got Big Top Pee-wee. The first release, GFV-001, will be River, which is so good. I don't even want to get into what that movie's about, but you're gonna love it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I should reveal, but I guess it's just a big deal. You know, I'm not very outspoken. I try to not be seen, and I don't really communicate. So obviously, if I'm communicating this way, I feel this is a big deal. And yeah, I'm kind of shocked that Graveface still exists, as it's been a really rough road pretty much the entire 24 years. I'm sure it will continue to be a rough road, but you know, I obviously couldn't be doing this without the people that give a shit. Perhaps you, I don't know who's watching this, but anyone that's ever spent $1, $20, $1,000, like, it's all so meaningful. And my museum wouldn't exist without you. The record store, I wouldn't have been able to open the original record store. Now I have several. None of these things would exist without you. So yeah, I just can't express enough gratitude towards, I'm not going to call them fans because I don't know anyone really gives a shit that much, but like people that are interested in the label. I hope you come with me in this little home video direction, because I need a place to put art house cinema and comedies and dramas and stuff. It just doesn't make sense on television for obvious reasons. So yeah, so we've got a just like everything I do, it's like kind of identical. There is now a Graveface video club that you can join at graveface.com, and that just gets you everything I'll put out. You'll be the first to receive it. It gives you access to the wholesale portal where you can buy other shit for cheap. It's that's just how my brain operates. I feel like the club is not just sort of a fundraising thing, but there's something about it that I always really liked, which is why I've been doing the Graveface Record Club for 15 years, 14 years or something, which is insane. And some people have been joined since 15 years ago. Again, nothing but love and respect for those that give a shit about what I do. The older I get, the more schizophrenic-y I am, and it's incredibly difficult for me to focus on a single task. So these things are really helpful for my mental health to focus on new shit. Home video being very new to Graveface, obviously. So, I mean, we put out some Marshmallow Ghost movies and stuff like that in the past, but it's not what I'm, those weren't widely distributed. Whereas the intention with this is to get into Walmart and to get into, I'm releasing some real movies. So the intention is for as many people to see them as possible. So I think that about sums it up. So thank you for 24 years of support. I am performing at South by Southwest in a few weeks with Dream End. That is pretty cool because it's with the anniversaries, it's the 20th anniversary of As If by Ghosts, which came out in 2004. Technically, I think in August, something like that. But in March at South by, we'll be performing that record in its entirety. And I actually got the original drummer, Mike Millars, aka Johnny Mancy, to rejoin. So practices have been great. I'm actually in our little rehearsal room right now, and it's been great. Seriously, like, I haven't thought about those songs in 20 years, and Mike and I picked up like we've been practicing the whole time. So that's coming up at South by, and we'll do a Chicago date as well. I don't know if we'll do a Savannah date or anywhere else, because who actually gives a shit? But we do, so that's why we're doing it at least twice, Chicago and South by. The Chicago date I don't have yet. And then going to perform as Marshmallow Ghosts as well. And that should be an interesting set. I'll just leave it at that. And then Black XC, which is the new Appleseed Cast Mineral Project, is performing for the first time at the Graveface Showcase. Appleseed Cast is performing, basically Nancy is performing, and Chalk Talk is performing. So And that Graveface Showcase is open to anyone. You don't have to have a South by Southwest wristband. You just pay a small fee at the door. I highly recommend coming. Like, it's going to be, that's a pretty epic, that's probably the most epic South by since. All right. Thank you guys for your support. Thanks for listening to the ramble. Peace and love.